Apple is quietly working on a secret AI strategy that could change the AI industry forever. While everyone is focused on building bigger AI models, Apple is quietly working on a completely different AI strategy, and most people don't even realize it. Right now, the AI industry is obsessed with this scale. The biggest breakthrough seems to come from companies training larger models, building massive GPU clusters, and running huge data centers that powers the systems like ChatGPT and Google Gemini. In that world, progress looks simple. Bigger models, more GPU, more computation. And compared to that AI race, Apple almost looks quiet. They are not announcing trillion parameter models, and they aren't rushing to build giant AI superclusters. At the first glance, it almost feels like Apple is sitting on the sidelines of the AI boom. But if you look closer at what Apple has been doing over the past few years, a different picture starts to appear. Because Apple might actually be building one of the largest AI infrastructure in the world, and it doesn't look like a data center. Instead of putting AI power inside the massive cloud servers, Apple has been putting dedicated AI hardware inside their devices. The chips inside Macs are evolving, the processor inside iPhones are getting more powerful, and with every generation, these devices are becoming more and more capable. Individually, each of these upgrades looks normal. Faster chips, better efficiency, and the kind of improvement every hardware company makes every year. But when you zoom out and look at them all together, they start forming a very specific pattern. Apple's strategy doesn't seem to revolve around building the biggest AI models in the cloud. Instead, it looks like the company is spreading intelligence across billions of personal devices. And if that's true, the real story of Apple and AI isn't happening inside the big data centers. It's happening quietly inside the hardware people carry every day with them. Which raises a much more interesting question. What exactly Apple is building inside its devices all this time? Now, before I show how Apple changed AI on personal devices, you have to understand a problem most computers still have today. In a traditional PC, the GPU, CPU, and memory all are separate units. The CPU uses system RAM, the GPU has its own VRAM, and when heavy workloads run, the data is constantly moving back and forth between them. You can almost think it like two offices in two different buildings that keep sending documents to each other every day. For normal application, that extra movement isn't a big deal. But for AI models, which are constantly processing huge matrices and tensors, that back and forth becomes a real bottleneck. Because the system spends a lot of time just moving data instead of actually computing. As the models get larger, the challenge isn't the more computation power anymore. It's how efficiently the system can move data from its memory, like the traffic in a city. Even if you have powerful cars, everything slows down if the roads are congested. And this design decision ended up solving one of the biggest problems modern AI systems have, moving data between the different components of a computer. When Apple started designing their own processors, they ran into this exact problem. And instead of sticking with the traditional PC architecture, they decided to rethink how the entire chip was laid out. And this is where Apple Silicon introduced a pretty big shift. Instead of spreading everything across separate components, Apple built what's called a system on a chip. That means the CPU, GPU, neural engine, and memory controller all sit on the same piece of the silicon. A simple way to think about it is like moving from two offices in two different buildings to two offices in one single building. And suddenly the information doesn't have to travel across two different buildings. It's in one single building. You just need to move from one floor to another floor. And suddenly the system gets much faster and much more efficient. And more importantly, Apple introduced unified memory architecture, which allows all of these components to share the same pool of high memory bandwidth. Rather than copying data between system RAM and GPU memory, everything operates from a one shared space. For AI workloads that constantly moving data through memory, this dramatically reduces overhead and increases efficiency. Combined with Apple's dedicated neural engine, which accelerates the machine learning tasks like metric multiplication, neural network inference, these chips started showing something unusual. Relatively small machines like the MacBook, Mac Mini could run sophisticated heavy machine learning workloads locally without needing the kind of dedicated GPU that traditional systems relied on. And that is only the first part of this story. As Apple kept improving this architecture with every new generation of M series, they also started building the tools around it. You can think of it like building a powerful engine first, then giving the developers the tools so they can drive this engine by building a car around it. Frameworks like the Metal let developers tap into the GPU for heavy computation tasks, almost like opening extra lane on a highway so more work can move faster. And more recently, Apple introduced MLX, designed specifically for Apple Silicon and its unified memory system. Think of it like a tool built perfectly for a specific workshop, making it much easier for developers to experiment with and run modern AI models directly on the devices. These tools combined with Apple's efficiency started attracting developers who wanted to run machine learning models directly onto their machine rather than relying entirely on the cloud infrastructure. Now, training the massive AI models still requires enormous GPU clusters and massive data centers, which companies like the OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft continues to dominate. But when those models exist, the majority of interaction happen during inference, the moment when user asks a question, edit an image, or process information with AI. Inference happens billions of times per day, and running every single request through a remote data center creates latency, cost, and privacy concerns. That realization starts shifting the conversation toward hybrid system, where some of the work happens in the cloud and the most of the work happens directly on your personal devices. And suddenly, Apple's architecture designed for on-device machine learning started looking less like a niche design decision and more like a preparation for a whole new layer of AI ecosystem. However, this is also where Apple faces its biggest challenge. The most advanced AI models today are still far too large to run fully on personal devices, and Apple does not lead the industry in training those models. Their own AI assistant Siri has often been criticized for lagging behind competitors, which reinforces the perception that Apple is behind in artificial intelligence. Even with powerful hardware and efficient architecture, Apple still depends upon broader AI ecosystem for larger and most capable models. That's why the company has begun integrating external systems such as OpenAI and Google's Gemini for more complex tasks while focusing its own technology on running smaller models directly on the devices. This hybrid approach represents the turning point of Apple's AI strategy, and I'm going to show you why that actually matters. The more I looked into Apple's position in AI race, the more clear something becomes. For a while now, the assumption has been that the future of AI will be controlled by the massive cloud infrastructures, huge models running on giant GPU clusters. And honestly, the companies building those systems looks like they are controlling where the industry going next. Apple knows they can't realistically outspend the players in the race of training the biggest AI models. With billions of iPads, iPhones, and Macs already running Apple Silicon with neural engines and unified memory, Apple effectively controls one of the largest distributed compute platform in the world. In other words, Apple may have already built a massive AI network. It just spread across the devices people use every day. So in other words, Apple isn't really choosing between the local AI or cloud AI. What they are building is a system that works together. Your device becomes the first layer of intelligence, handling a lot of things locally, and the cloud steps in when the workloads become much heavier. When you look at it like that, the story of Apple and AI isn't about winning the race to build the biggest models. It's about something more important, where AI lives when billions of people start using it every day. The architecture decisions Apple made years ago, custom silicon, unified memory, dedicated neural engine, and developer platforms like the Metal, MLX, and PyTorch MPS now form the foundation for running machine learning workloads efficiently on personal devices. And honestly, the more I talk to students about the laptops, I realize that the main problem isn't the hardware anymore. That's why I'm working on something with few of my friends. It's still in early stages. We are testing, breaking things, fixing things every week. So before launching it properly, I want a small group of students from this channel to try it and give their honest feedback. If that sounds interesting, I have linked a Google form in the description or in the pinned comment. You can fill it out and we will reach out to you. So if you found this video helpful, click on that like button and consider subscribing. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, stay awesome, and I will see you in the next one.